212.
Ladies and gentlemen, right now, we want to bring forth to the stage a very special guest, the undisputed.
Nah, son, baby. And this is another episode.
Can't help but swing it, boy. Swing it, brother, swing.
And this is your host. Nah, son, baby. Here we go. Microphone check 1 2 1 2. This is your host, Nah, son, baby. And this is another episode of Swingers After Dark. And I'm talking to a dear friend. You probably heard her in other episodes. You know, we kicking it, talking shit about, you know, the male gender. You feel me? Like, I like to bring a balance to my show so I could give another perspective. And as I try to pry her hand away from her smartphone, because she got like an addiction to social media. Like her phone, it's like another boyfriend. You feel me? Because it's like who drives while engaging in an online chat, like group chats. People, I've seen people, she's not the only one. I've seen people driving while simultaneously engaging, frolicking in group chats. I'm like, people are willing to like lose their life just to like talk to somebody, like just to like shoot the shit. But that's another episode. That's a whole nother discussion, baby. But this episode, you know, my friend, she tried to switch it up. At first, you know, I said this episode, the title of this episode is, you know, no wifey duties for boyfriends. But then she tried to like do the switcheroo, change the word from duty to privilege. No wifey, let me get that right. No wifey privileges for boyfriends. Like at first it was duties, but then she low key tried to like change the shit, you know, semantics is a bitch, ain't it? But yeah, she tried to change it from duties to privileges. So, you know, Miss Thing. So why you don't want to give wifey privileges? No wifey privileges to boyfriends, because if I'm with a chick, she better like, you know, wash my feet clean between my toes, you know, lick my balls. It's like she better go the whole 9 yards to satisfy me. You know, I don't give a fuck if we are fuck buddies, we're in a situationship, we're in a complicationship, we're in a textuationship. I don't give a fuck what ship that we're on, as long as we go to the destination in our journey. You feel me? But you want to be on some Titanic shit. You're like, you want to like drive into the iceberg so the Titanic could capsize. So you talk this shit about no wifey duties, or let me back, no wifey privileges for boyfriends. So what do you mean by that? And did you ever go to an experience where you said, nah, this is not happening again?
So no wifely privileges. No, we're not about to play house, and I'm not about to act like I'm your wife doing all the things that, you know, husbands and wives do. I don't want to cohabitate anymore unless
that's the new thing.
Unless there's, and I've been there and I've done
shacking up.
I've shacked, I've cohabitated.
Common law.
And here I am still single. I did all of those things thinking these were the things that I needed to do in a relationship, thinking that these were the things that, you know, trying to quote unquote prove my worth, prove that I was wifey material. And in the end, I still wind up on the outside looking in. So no more trying to prove my worth. No more trying to prove that I am, you know, this good woman that can do everything for you, that can suck you, that can fuck you, that can wash your clothes, that can iron your clothes, cook all the meals, keep the house clean, making the doctor's appointments, taking care of children that are not even my children, all for you to cheat on me along the way. And eventually, you know, we wind up breaking up. And ladies, I left him. He didn't leave me, because as long as I would have kept on being there doing all of those things, he would have never wifed me. What incentive was I giving him to wife me if I was already doing all of the things that husbands and wives do as we're already living together and living under the same roof? So
wait. I got a question. I got the $1 billion question. Did you lick his ass?
I did.
Okay, did
I
y'all,
did everything.
Wait, did y'all have threesomes?
I joined the lifestyle. I became a swinger, thinking this is going to spice up our relationship. This is going to make us have a little bit more fun.
Wait, did you let him pee on you?
No, there was no peeing.
Oh, okay,
on each other.
that's why y'all broke up. Keep going.
Mind you, I broke up with him. I left him. Let's just be clear about that.
So you didn't let him pee on you. You didn't let him shit on you. So that's obviously, you really obviously didn't do enough to keep the man. So you have to be nasty. You got to be that fantasy.
Listen, you can't keep nobody that don't want to be kept. And again, let me reiterate, I left him.
Wow, that's a big word. Reiterate. Keep on.
I left him. So there was no being kept. As long as I was still being complacent and doing all of the things that he wanted to do, being in the swinger lifestyle, and he was using the lifestyle not to actually swing and spice up our relationship. He was using the lifestyle actually trying to meet other women. And because I'm fine and I look good, I'm attractive, I have a nice personality, I'm fun, I was the bait. I didn't realize it then, but it was afterwards. I was the bait. If I wasn't down with it, it was not going to happen. So then he would have to go behind my back and do it. So doing all of the things, being nasty, sucking balls, licking ass, all that stuff, letting other women lick on me licking on other women, all the things that he wanted to do. And I'm not saying that there were things that I was not curious about. So I won't say that, it was all his idea, because I was curious about some things or whatever. But doing all of those things in the bedroom and out the bedroom, he still cheated. I still wasn't enough. He still bullshitted me. I wasn't enough, so no more wifely privileges, no more playing house, no more, being Susie homemaker or, Stepford wife or whatever, which Stepford wife and Susie homemakers, they didn't work. I went to work every day and still coming home and still expecting to wash all the clothes, wash all the dishes, do everything while he does nothing but just go to work.
Wait. Nobody told you to do all that. You did that on your own. So you can't blame the man for not buying the milk. I mean, buying the cow.
No, those.
How'd it go? I'm fucking it up. But you get the point.
Those were the things that he expected me to do as his girlfriend.
Well, don't buy the milk when you already have the cow. Anyway, keep going.
No, those are the things that he expected to happen and go on as us cohabitating, living together. So,
well, nobody told you to cohabitate with a motherfucker who's not, reciprocating. I said another big word. But anyway, nobody told you to do that. You did that on your own.
Well, let me hit you with another big phrase. Don't be willfully ignorant. So,
I was sending in the first grade. Anyway, keep going.
Well, maybe other people don't know willfully ignorant.
Well, they're not me. But how?
So what I'm saying is that don't lose yourself in thinking that you have to do X, Y, and Z to keep a man or to be in a relationship with that man. I learned the hard way. And from that relationship on, I'm no longer proving my worth. I'm no longer doing any of that. I should not have to prove my worth to you. You should see my worth by the actions that I do and not judge me or base anything off of what you don't cook or you don't clean or whatever. I keep where I live clean. I cook for myself. If I so choose to cook for you, then I'm going to cook for you. But if I don't cook for you, don't come to me and make that be like, that's my obligation. Well, you don't even cook for me. No, because no. Wow.
Okay. So let me talk about the other side of the coin. In a way, it's like a man got to give you, okay, I understand that you got to know your worth, your value. But at the end of the day, it's like a man has to give you permission to function in your womanhood or function as a girlfriend, because it's kind of like tick for tack. Well, I'm not going to do this unless you do that. You should do it because you want to do it and you really like this man. So it's like you've been tit for tat and carrying baggage for the next relationship to the dude. He's a good dude, but because of the bad relationship in the past, you're like, well, I know my worth and I'm not going to do this. It's like you've been tit for tat instead of doing it because you want to do it.
I mean, I did do it because I want to do it. And in my next relationship, if that's what I choose to do, I'm going to do it. But will I do it to the extent that I did it in a past relationship? No, probably not.
Why not?
Because why? Why should I do that? Why should I have to do that?
You should always go all out, balls out in any situation that you at, I'm not gonna say just because I got like 500 downloads for this episode that I'm gonna like half-ass the next episode because I only got 500 as opposed to 1,000. You gotta go all in. 365, 24/7, baby.
Well, that's a false equivalent. You can't make an equivalence of how many episodes of your podcast that you make based on your viewers and equate that to real life and how humans interact with each other.
We're not gonna shit on my podcast. Just take the metaphor for what it's worth. Keep going.
That's a false equivalence.
Nah, it's the same equivalent.
It is not. It's not. But anyways, we're going to agree to disagree and move on. But no,
don't be shitting on my podcast, yo. Keep going.
I'm not. Don't put that on me.
I'll put something else on. Anyway, keep going.
No, I'll put something else on you. Anywho, so I have just learned that I'm not gonna be in a relationship to where I feel like I'm proving my worth, and then at the end of the day, have somebody tell me you ain't do nothing for me. I'm not going to put myself in that position or that situation anymore. Not saying that I'm not going to give my all and put my all in a relationship, but I'm going to do it a little more cautiously. I won't go balls to the wall, 2 feet in like I did in that last relationship.
Why not? It's like, what didn't you do? He probably thought that you didn't do something.
I refuse to believe that him cheating or doing all the things that he did, that was not about me. I don't believe that when men cheat, it ain't never about the woman.
No. You know what you didn't do? You didn't wear different hairstyles. So it could appear like that he's cheating, but all the while he's fucking with the same chick. He's fucking you. So you should have had like a Jedi mind trick. You should have wore different hairstyles with different outfits, different sex positions, different voices, different moans, different attitudes, different personalities, because we all know that women got a million personalities. If you would have done that, then he would have stayed. So you have to be creative, baby. You got to be creative. So going back, what you mean when men cheat is not about the women? Break that down.
So first, let me address this and just say that, you didn't wear a different wig. You didn't do this and that or whatever. Y'all want us to be different, but y'all bring the same shit to us all the time. But y'all want us to be different.
We don't have to do that.
Who says y'all don't?
Because we didn't eat the apple in the Garden of Eden. Anyway, keep going.
Oh, okay. No, don't tell us we have to pull all these tricks out of the bag while y'all bring y'all same old lame boring asses to us every night. That's just not gonna work. We're not about to do that.
So why would you take care of another man's child? Like, why would you even fathom that idea?
Because she needed a mother figure. She needed somebody to be there to understand what she was going through and what she was dealing with. And the kind of household that I was raised in, I had an amazing stepmother.
Well, let's cue in the sound effects. So what do you mean by what you say? You didn't have an amazing mother, or you was raised?
I had a wonderful mother, but my dad married another woman, and I had a great stepmother. And she stepped in. At the times when I lived with my dad, she stepped in and she raised me and took care of me like I was her own. So that's just in me. I come from a family where we don't make difference in children because children can't help why they're here, and they can't help the decisions that their parents make and what they get caught up in. So yeah, if she was going to be living in the house with me, it was only right that I look after her and try to make sure that she was taken care of as well.
Wait, okay. Did you allow dudes run a train on you while y'all was in a relationship?
No.
So see, it's a lot of stuff that you did not do. He was right. You did not do a lot of things. You didn't get gang bang. You didn't have like a DP, like double penetration. You didn't have all three of your holes filled up with nut. So you didn't do a lot of things that he would have probably stayed with you.
No.
For,
No.
You have to be a porn star to do this nowadays.
He did not want me. It was only, we wound up being in the lifestyle only to serve what he wanted.
Okay. Did you let him hit it raw?
He was my boyfriend.
Nah, you didn't ask. Well, you gave him husband privileges.
Ain't that what we talking about? Why not giving wife privileges, husband and wife privileges? If this is just your boyfriend and not your husband, ain't that what we talking about? That falls in it too. So not letting them hit raw unless we are either engaged or married.
So did you let him fuck you in the ass?
Nope.
Okay, see, ladies and gentlemen.
So I feel like you're trying to blame me for the demise of the relationship when I'm not the one that stepped out of the relationship.
Yes, I am victim shaming.
I see. Hard.
Because you dropped the ball, literally and figuratively, because you didn't do a lot of freaky shit that would allow him to stay.
I did all the freaky shit. Problem is that it was only the freaky shit that he wanted to do. There was never an opportunity for me to explore my fantasies and my sexualities of doing a man for, me, him, and another man. There was never any opportunity for that. It was only to indulge his fantasies and the shit that he wanted to do.
So whose fault is that? Nobody told you to.
No, I mean, I take full responsibility. Like I said, I'm all about accountability and responsibility. I cannot place blame solely on his feet without taking any accountability for what I allowed to happen.
You're like, it's not like, he put a gun to your head and say, bitch, do this, XYZ.
However, that still does not make it right that you take advantage of the situation.
He didn't take advantage of the situation.
He took full advantage of the situation.
If you give like somebody $1 million and they spend it, like, you can't blame them because you gave it to them. You know what I'm saying?
Stop it with these false equivalencies.
It's not a false equivalence.
It is a false equivalence. You're trying to compare apples to oranges, and it's just not. It's not the same thing.
Listen, it is, because apples and oranges at the same time, they still fruit at the end of the day. But anyway, it's the same. But anyway, so. Miss Thing. So when did you have the epiphany to leave him? First of all, how long have you been with him?
I had been with him. We were together for 7, but I had lived with him. We lived together for 5.
For 5 years. Mm-hmm. Wait. So you telling me you endured all this for 7 years?
Pretty much. Women put up with a whole lot of shit. Women put up with a lot of shit that men would not put up with and men would not deal with.
Listen, I remember back in the day, right? I told my homegirl that I went to an underground strip show just to see how it is, just to experience it for one time. And she asked me, how many times have you gone? And I said, I went like 5, 6 times. She was like, well, you're not going just to see how it is. You're going because you like it. So if you're going to be somewhere for 5 or 7 years, then that means you allowed it and was something about that relationship that made you want to stay.
I just said that. I said that I stayed and I took responsibility.
Okay.
I took responsibility for me staying longer than I should have stayed in that relationship.
Okay, so you obviously wanted to be.
That still doesn't make it right.
How? You was in there for 5 or 7 years.
But that still doesn't make it right. You taking advantage of somebody. That still doesn't make it right on his. That still doesn't make it right on his part.
How is that taking advantage when you've been with somebody for 5 or 7? Y'all might as well be common law, like husband and wife.
In Texas, technically, you were.
So technically y'all were married. So what's the problem? You allow him to be a poop putt. You know what I'm saying?
I don't operate in technicalities. So I don't operate in technicalities. We were not married. There was no proposal. There was none of that. It was just we wound up. I ain't gonna say by circumstance. Oh, I guess I can say by circumstance. In Texas, you recognize as a common law marriage. I don't recognize common law marriage. That's not real to me.
So you're not being honest with the situation. Why would you stay for 5 or 7 years if he was a flunky?
I never said that he was a flunky.
Okay, so what was he then? If you was
he
doing
just wasn't the man for me.
So it took you 7 years to figure that out.
I mean, people stay in relationships way longer than they should.
And why is that?
Because you get comfortable.
Complacent.
I said that. I became complacent. You get comfortable. You get complacent. You get afraid. Me being in that relationship.
Afraid of what?
Afraid of what's going to be on the other side. Because my alternative for me leaving that relationship was to move all the way back to Indiana. Or at that time, I didn't have a job. I didn't have anything. So it was a big step for me to step back out and be like, you know what, I'm going to leave and move all the way back from Austin, Texas to Indianapolis, Indiana. That's over 1,000 miles.
But at the end of the day, y'all needed each other. And at the end of the day, y'all were using each other. You was taking advantage because you were scared to take belief for faith. And, he needed you. Whatever the case may be, y'all both were taking advantage of the situation.
No, he wasn't taking advantage of it. He was taking advantage of me. But I did not need him in the way that you're saying that I needed him.
Well, you needed him in some capacity because you were scared to take that leap of faith.
Because when you're in a relationship for that long, yeah, you are scared to know what's going to be on the other side of it. Especially, it wasn't just like I'm about to move across town. You know, like I'm about to move into my own place across town. I'm moving across the country. It's not quite the same. I had no family, no real friends in Austin. Those things, it was a scary time because I was like, damn, what am I gonna, you know what I'm saying? I need to leave. I'm gonna get out of this relationship. But what do I need to do? Because it wasn't just like, oh, I'm about to move across town. No, I was moving back across the country. So that's not easy.
Listen, I need to give you some Xlax. I really need to get you some Xlax because you're full of shit. Because I'm saying that, listen, hear me out. What I'm saying is that you stayed with somebody for 5 to 7. It wasn't like y'all was together for a year rather, and you saw that something wasn't right, something was rotten in Denmark. You stayed with him for 5 or 7 years, down there a decade, and then all of a sudden you said, I don't want to be with you. You was in your 30s, so you were still, you know, you were still young to do whatever you wanted to do. It wasn't like you was like 60 and like you was like, well, I got no choice but to stay with this motherfucker. But you was in your 30s, you know. Okay, all bullshit aside, you know, all bullshit aside. So, what would you tell women in that situation?
Go with your first mind. If you think that they're going to change and they're going to get better, 9 times out of 10, they're probably not. Go with your first mind. If your first mind is, you know what, this relationship is not serving me anymore, or, you know, I'm not getting out of it what I feel I should be getting out of it. You're pouring into it, but you're the only one pouring into it. Go with your first mind and just go ahead and leave. You know, but women, we think with our hearts and men think with their heads. So, and at that time, while I was in that, I thought I really loved him. And I thought, you know, that he really loved me. But I came to realize, you know, that he didn't. You know, and when you love somebody, it's hard to just jump up and just walk away.
So how did you know that? How did you know your value in the midst of that relationship? When did you have that?
I did not realize my value in the midst of that relationship. It was after I had been gone, after I left and went back home to Indianapolis.
Okay,
where I started to reflect on the relationship, my time in the relationship, things that I should have done, things I should have spoke up on and didn't. You know, it was in the midst of it, I did not realize my value. I knew that I no longer could stay there and stay in that relationship. That was what I knew.
So when did you get that Eureka moment to tell you that you had to leave, pack your shit, and bounce?
One day, it's funny. I was washing dishes one day, and he started talking shit about some stupid shit, and I thought to myself, you know what? I don't have to be here. And it was that day, and I started plotting and planning my exit move. Then
that was the straw that broke the stallion's back. No pun intended.
Absolutely, you know. And it took 3 years to leave. So I didn't. It took time to leave.
Why take all that time to leave?
Because I mean, women are built different than men. Y'all, you know what I'm saying?
Break it down for the slow motherfuckers.
Women are built different than men. Women are we're emotional. We hope that things are going to work. So we keep on staying thinking that if I keep on trying, if I change or if I do this or if I do that or whatever, you know, that he's going to notice that and he's going to start appreciate me. And some people, some men do. That particular man just did not, you know. And so, yeah, I mean, I left in 2013. I didn't make it very far before I came back. And in 2014, I left for 3 months. And then I came back in 2014. And then in 2015, I decided it was just, and I knew then and there, I was like, I'm never coming back. And that's 5 years ago. And I've never looked back since. I knew. And when I don't know, women can relate when you're literally cried out and you have no more tears to give. I had not one single tear to give, not one single tear to shed. I couldn't wait to leave and never look back. So
in other words, you know, you stayed because you invested time and energy into the relationship. And it's like, I want this to work because I'm knee deep into it. It's like when you selling.
Not knee deep into it. I felt like I wanted it to work because at that time I felt like I love him and I am in love with him. That's why I stayed. Not necessarily because I just wanted it to work. No, it wasn't just that reason.
So why did you love him? If you felt like he was taking advantage of the situation, or of you rather.
You know, a lot of things I didn't come to realize, it was a retrospect look back. So when I was in it, a lot of things I didn't realize until I got out of it and I started, healing and looking back on things and, doing a retrospect look back. Hindsight is 2020, so I was able to, come to those realizations after the fact. Some of the things I realized.
Wait, don't say hindsight is 2020 because hindsight might got the Rona. Anyway, keep going. Hindsight might got COVID in 2020.
Hindsight is 2020
because love is blind. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, because love is blind, and it will make you blind. And when they start feeling like that they're gonna lose you, or or you're leaving or whatever, they will get some act right about themselves, but only for a short period of time before they turn back into a pumpkin.
So what would you say to the women who may be listening to this that, about the concept of changing men?
You can't change nobody.
Or staying in a relationship hoping that it will get better.
You cannot change anybody. The only somebody that you can change in that relationship is you. Because people change for themselves. They don't change for other people. And if they do change for you, the change is going to be a Band-Aid. It's not going to be permanent. It's going to be a temporary fix so that y'all can get through whatever rough patch or whatever issue it is that y'all are going through or dealing with before they revert back to their old ways. You cannot change people. So if you think that you're going to change him, it's going to be a fruitless attempt, and you're going to continue staying in a relationship and getting and being hurt.
So how would you stop yourself from becoming the person you hate? In other words, how do you stop yourself from mistreating the next man because you were in a bad relationship or in a bad situation that you thought that was a hindrance to your value? Like, how do you keep yourself from penalizing the next man?
You have to make sure that you heal, take some time to take stock of yourself, do some reflection, and I'll say it again, I'm a proponent of counseling and therapy, of finding ways to deal with, the issues, that you faced or you dealt with or whatever. And before you move on to bring somebody else into your life so that you can learn that, the next person is not going to be the last person.
And on that note, this has been another episode of Swingers After Dark, and this is your host, Not Son, baby. Check out my website at www.notsonblaze.com. That's www.nahsunblaze.com, and check out my ebook, You, Me, Us, Them, The Swinging Manifesto. It's on Nook, Kindle, iBooks, Google Play. Go get it. Shoot me an email at swingpodcast@gmail.com. That's swingpodcast@gmail.com. And hit me up with any questions or concerns that you may have. Rate, share, subscribe, and comment on this podcast. Dig. And on that note, until next time, peace.